Hey, what's up, everyone? It's your boy, Prison Mike. Hope you guys are having a great day today. Yesterday, EA actually released a briefing based off the fan questions that came from the reveal trailer back in June for Battlefield 2042. So in this briefing, we were able to get a lot of juicy info, including some details about the specialists, your custom loadouts. They talked a little bit about the Ranger or the robot dog. They also spoke of clustering and sectors, last gen console capabilities, the vehicle call-in we've all been wanting to hear a little bit more about, naval vehicles, will they be in the game or will they not? AI and cross-platform, and last but not least, the penguins. So make sure you stick around for the whole video as we go over a few of the main topics that EA had discussed. I'm not going to dive into every specific detail, but I think we'll kind of just hit the main points. Alright everyone, let's get right into it. I'm not going to go over the specialists right now. Most of you all have looked up probably a little bit about everything, but if you want to see what they spoke about with the specialists at https. So one of the main things I've really been looking forward to hearing a little bit more about is the Ranger or the robot dog. So EA stated that selecting the Ranger is neither a specialty or a trait and anyone can call them in. Now they are going to be a part of a category where you can select different call-ins. So if you select that call-in, you'll be passing up the different options that you have. But these Rangers are made to basically do anything for you. They're there to protect you, put your life above their own. You can give them commands, you can have them scout an area, you can have them even return back to you. And even when the time might be right, you can even have them self-destruct. You can send them in as a decoy while you flank the other side. And yes, it has been confirmed you can strap C4 onto them and send them into enemy territory. Next, they dove into clustering and sectors. So basically, they introduced clustering to create deliberate areas of activity and capture areas for players to engage with. So most likely your areas where you're going to find most people fighting. And then, obviously you're going to have your in-betweens where everybody's going to be driving their vehicles to and from each cluster. They also spoke a little bit about sectors. I'm going to give an example from what they put in their briefing. So here's an example of more fluid and targeted combat in a conquest match. You are attacking a sector and you capture the first flag. Previously, you and your squad would immediately be on the move towards another flag. But due to the conquest changes in Battlefield 2042, you've established a foothold in the sector and you can spawn and confront the enemy to take further flags. This creates a higher intensity fight for the full sector. Only when the full sector has fallen do you make the decision on where to go next. This reduces the back and forth running between flags and puts focus on the sector itself. So honestly, this kind of reminds me of Operation Locker in Battlefield 4. All out madness until you take that objective. I think it sounds really cool. It's going to keep the clusters more chaotic, more packed with gunplay, tanks, all that stuff. I think it's going to be really cool. Next, we have the vehicle call-in system. So EA stated that you can still spawn into normal vehicles from the deploy screen, but just because the map sizes are so much bigger, they decided to implement a vehicle call-in system. EA also stated that the call-ins depend on the map size, so I'm not sure if maybe the smallest map you don't have those, or maybe you only get a certain amount on different maps based on the size. They did state that air vehicles only spawn from the deploy screen, so I don't think as of right now you can call in a helicopter. Obviously, I don't think a jet's gonna fall out of the sky or anything like that, but that would be pretty cool. Um, and there's also going to be a cooldown. So at first, I thought they might have done it something similar to Battlefield 5, where the commander has your points, kind of set up a system like that. But it sounds like they're just going to be doing a cooldown. So I'm curious to see how long that cooldown's going to be. But I guess we will find out. And another huge question that I think a lot of fans have been asking, are there going to be naval vehicles? So EA stated that the only naval vehicle they have for the release is going to be the hovercraft. Apparently, as of right now, they're not focusing on naval warfare, and they basically said that in the future, most likely, we're going to get that. But as of now, there is only going to be one naval vehicle, and that's the hovercraft. So we've already heard some from EA in regards to the AI soldiers, but they reiterated again that AI soldiers are just there to fill empty servers, and actual players will always have priority over them. So they did discuss a little bit more about the AIs. The AIs cannot be specialists and they cannot use traits. So, as far as the wingsuit goes, you will not see any AIs using the wingsuit or any other trait that one of the specialists may have. Now, as far as what they can do, the AIs, they can use the vehicle call in. They can be there for capturing and holding objectives. They can decide whether or not they want to engage in firing at you. They can throw grenades, or they can even flank you. They also stated that they will also revive down squad mates, so that'd be kind of nice, depending on how smart the AI is, or whether or not they just run out in the open fire when they're trying to revive you. But we'll see how that goes on release. And the final icing on the cake for the AI topic, you cannot opt out of AI. So basically, they're just putting them in the game to fill servers. Now, starting out, I'm sure the game's going to be huge unless we have a ton of bugs or stuff like that. But I would think they're probably going to have enough players starting out once the game releases that you're probably not going to see a whole lot of AIs. Now, that is unless you decide to go co-op with your friends and want all AIs, or decide to go solo against all AIs to practice a little bit, like I said, for those new players maybe to the Battlefield franchise that kind of want to learn the basics. So there's a couple more things I'd like to address before we wrap everything up. I think this is something a lot of players have been really curious about, and what DICE was going to do along the lines of cross platform. So they are going to be building a cross platform function across their playtests. Um, but with that being said, cross platform is going to be implemented into the new Battlefield 2042. So if you're playing on the PC, Xbox Series X, S, and the PS5, you will be able to play with all of those players. Now, they did mention that Xbox One and PlayStation 4 players will only be able to play against each other. They will not be able to play against the Series X or the PS5, basically the next gen consoles, due to hardware restrictions on the last gen consoles. Now, I have seen some people asking whether or not you can switch it between Xbox and PlayStation only. Unfortunately, as of right now, you will not be able to do that. So if you're doing cross-platform, you will be most likely playing with some people on PC. Now, as far as how many PC players are you going to be playing with, we don't really know right now, but when EA or DICE starts doing their technical play tests with the select group of people that they invite, they're currently going to be building the cross-platform model and how it works. But as of right now, like I said, there will be no distinguishing whether you want to play only against consoles. instead of PC and everybody. And lastly, the Penguins. In the reveal trailer back in June, we got a glimpse at quite a few of the different maps that were going to be available on release day. And one of the maps, I believe it's called Breakaway. We saw our good friends from Happy Feet. So, yes, penguins will be in the game. They didn't really state how they were going to interact with the environment. What if I toss a grenade and my finger slips off my controller and I accidentally throw it at a penguin and the penguin goes boom? Animal rights activists, do not come after me. I promise you, it was an accident. But yeah, no, I'm just curious to see how they mesh with the map, and I just think it's a cool little detail that they added in there, and can't wait to find out how they actually are in game. All right, everyone. That about wraps it up for today's video. I appreciate y'all stopping by. If you guys got any questions, be sure to leave a comment down below. And just also, if you just want to talk about the new game coming out, what are your thoughts on it? What do you like? What don't you like? And also, don't forget to stay gruel. Eat a gruel sandwich, a gruel omelet, and stay away from the Dementors. And for those of you who have absolutely no clue what I'm talking about, I still love you just as much. And I appreciate you checking out my video. Hope you guys have a great day. Prison Mike. Ow! Yeah, dude, that was like an hour long match.
Great Scott!